Hi, this is Jeff with Game-Refraction. I'm here at the Red Deer Expo. I'm here with Michael Berryman. Thank you very much for the interview.
It's a pleasure to be here. I love Canada.
Thank you. So, where did you get your start into this industry?
Oh, about 40 years ago, I was in Washington State, and I was helping a friend rebuild a house that had burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
After a few weeks, we had it all built, and I said, I'm going to go to Canada and then homestead in Alaska. I was ready to do that, and I got sidetracked. I got a phone call. I went back to California to get my pack up and get ready to immigrate. And I had a gentleman walk into my little store. I had a little store in Venice Beach, and lo and behold, it was none other than George Powell. And George Powell, for the viewers and listeners, he was the producer of Warner Brothers that produced The War of the Worlds and The Time Machine and Journey to the Center of the Earth. I was a big sci-fi fan, and he said, "You have a very interesting face. I would like you to be in my movie." And I go, "What? Who are you?" And he says, "I'm George Powell." And I said, "Do you know who you are? And he says, "Calm down, it's okay. Here's my card. Please call my office, and I want to put you in a movie." And I go, "Well, I'm not an actor." And he says, "But you have the look I need, and I'm sure you can do fine." I said, "Well, I studied a degree in art history. Maybe I can do this." And okay. So I went to Warner Brothers, and I had my meeting. I filmed 2 days. He got me my union card. I had a couple $100 in my pocket, and it was Doc Savage, The Man of Bronze, with Ron Ely. And I figured, well, that was a pretty quick movie career. What am I going to do now? Oh, I'm going to pack up my bags and move to Canada and then go homestead in Alaska. About 2 months later, I got a phone call, and it was Michael Fenton and Gene Feinberg. They were casting directors for a movie called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay, yeah.
They were also George Powell's casting directors, but I did not meet with them because I met George, the producer, and he got me into...
Kind of shortcutted your way into that.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So that began the wonderful journey of meeting Michael Douglas, Joel Douglas, Saul Zaentz, Milos Forman, and they said, "It's Cuckoo's Nest." And I go, "Oh, great story, fantastic." And I said, "Who's going to play McMurphy?" And they said, "Jack Nicholson." And I go, "Where do I sign?" And of course, because of my surgeries I'd had as a child at Children's Hospital, skull surgery, this looked very good, and they figured with some lobotomy scars, I would look like I had had a lobotomy. And I go, "I don't have any lines. I want to go to a real mental hospital at Oregon State Hospital." The doctor was the real doctor, that played Dr. Spivey. And I realized that the quality of the production was immense, meaning they had the best crew, the best camera operators, the best everybody. And I asked Milos Forman, I said, "I understand art and structure and framing within a lens, for instance. What can I learn to make this better for you?" And he took me up in front of the camera and he said, "Panavision, beautiful camera." And he says, "Do you see the glass?" I said, "Yes, I do see the glass." I'm thinking, what is he going to tell me? And he goes, he's puffing on his pipe, and he goes, "Now, Michael, I want you to have a love affair with the lens." I said, "Can I look through the eyepiece, please?" He goes, "Please." And I looked through that, and I was just blown away. I go, "Oh my goodness." I racked some focus, and I started to realize how it all fits together. We had 2 weeks of rehearsals with camera and blocking. I worked 127 days. Every day on the set, even on my days off, I stayed to ask questions. I drove people absolutely bonkers by asking, "What does that do? What does that do? What does that do? What does that do?" And I learned what that all does.
Nice.
And it helped me tremendously over the years to learn that part, the technical aspect of making film.
Nice. It was really a hugely iconic movie, and it's kind of one of those kind of like top 100 films of all times, all the time. Did you have much interaction with like a lot of the main cast, like
Yes.
off camera? And
Yes. Jack Nicholson and Louise Fletcher and the production crew rented a house, and the rest of us, that would be Christopher Lloyd, Danny DeVito, and the rest of us, we were at the hotel. So Of course, everybody in town in Salem, Oregon realized that the actors, they were doing this movie. So all the locals came. We were working 6-day weeks. And after a while, the rumor was that they were making a wing just for us because we were so convincing as mentally deficient. But yes, a lot of interaction. Jack Nicholson told me that had he been as tall as I was, that he would have been an NBA star because he loves basketball. Jack's a super nice guy. Christopher Lloyd. We've become friends for life. It was a monumental film. Won a few Oscars. I think it made a difference in the world of art, and I believe it's in the top 20 or 50 of all time.
Yeah, it's like a hugely iconic film. Horror itself is like an iconic genre. What has been your favorite approach to horror? Like, has that what you love about it changed drastically since?
Well, what I like about horror is that the elements that I prefer to work with have not changed, and I call those a classier approach to storytelling. And by that I mean if there's violence or carnage, it doesn't have to be superbly graphic, in my opinion. I believe sometimes a nod, a wink, a movement, more Hitchcock is implied, is creepier and scarier, gets underneath your skin. I am not a fan of I call it torture porn. You know,
like Saw and
honestly,
like that.
I tried to watch Saw, and after about 40 minutes, I said I've had enough. I understand that there is a theme and a story and all that, but it's not my bag, man.
Yeah, atmosphere is cheaper to produce and usually more effective in a lot
Yes,
of
it
horror
is.
films.
I go to a lot of a lot of conventions and a lot of film festivals, and I'm a big supporter of the independent film festivals where people are doing shorts. I did one with a wonderful friend, Jesse Burke. He's an orthopedic surgeon, and in his spare time, he loves to make short, 15-minute, silent, short films, kind of like Rod Serling. We did one called One Please, where I'm the creepy ice cream man that comes to town. The cost of an ice cream is one of your parents' fingers.
Okay.
And then we did another one called Cured, and he has a bunch more that we're going to be doing. It's been winning awards at conventions and film festivals. And I just think the art of storytelling is it's one of the oldest interactions that humans have. Sit around the fire, hey, what happened? Well, I brought something to eat, and you won't believe what happened in the process. So we tell stories. It's a wonderful art form.
Well, thank you very much for the interview.
My pleasure.